What if the balance of naval power in the Pacific depended on a chain of islands stretching thousands of miles across the ocean? Through the World Strategy Lab lens, the island chains of East Asia are not simply geography. They are strategic infrastructure, a natural maritime barrier shaping the balance of naval power in one of the most important regions of the world. This is the strategic containment principle. When geography forms natural barriers along critical sea lanes, it can influence the movement and reach of military power. Stretching from Japan in the north through Taiwan and the Philippines in the south, the first island chain forms a sweeping arc across the western Pacific. This chain of islands sits just off the eastern coastline of China, creating a line of territory that overlooks key maritime routes. Geography shapes naval movement. For decades, military strategists have viewed the first island chain as one of the most important geographic features in Pacific security. The islands themselves belong to several different countries, including Japan, Taiwan, and the Philippines, many of which maintain security partnerships with the United States. These alliances amplify the chain's strategic importance. From a naval perspective, the island chain acts like a series of observation points across the western Pacific. Ships and aircraft operating from these islands can monitor and potentially control access between the South China Sea, the East China Sea, and the wider Pacific Ocean. Gateways define strategy. For China, whose coastline faces the Pacific, the island chain creates a challenge. Any naval force moving from Chinese waters into the open Pacific must pass through one of several narrow passages between these islands. Narrow passages concentrate movement. These passages, known as maritime choke points, are closely watched by regional militaries and naval patrols. In times of tension, they could become strategic bottlenecks. The strategic logic behind this geography dates back to the early Cold War, when U.S. planners viewed the island chain as a way to contain Soviet and Chinese naval expansion in the Pacific. Containment shaped the strategy. Today, the same geography still plays a major role in the balance of power between China, the United States, and regional allies. China's Navy, known as the People's Liberation Army Navy, has expanded rapidly in recent decades. New aircraft carriers, submarines, and advanced missile systems have increased its ability to operate farther from its coastline. Naval power is expanding. Yet to project sustained influence into the Pacific Ocean, Chinese naval forces must still pass through the island chain. Geography sets the stage. Beyond the first island chain lies the second island chain, which stretches farther east from Japan toward the Mariana Islands and Guam. This second line includes important U.S. military installations and serves as another layer of strategic depth in the region. Defense in layers. Together, these island chains create a multi-layered maritime structure that shapes naval strategy across the Indo-Pacific. But the importance of these islands goes beyond military positioning. They also sit along some of the world's busiest shipping lanes, connecting the industrial economies of East Asia with global markets. Trade flows alongside strategy. The same passages that naval forces must navigate are also used by commercial vessels carrying energy supplies, raw materials, and manufactured goods. Economic systems and military strategy intersect. As China expands its naval capabilities and the United States strengthens alliances across the region, these island chains are becoming increasingly important to the future of Pacific security. Strategic geography remains constant. Military exercises, naval patrols, and defense partnerships across the region all reflect the growing importance of these maritime corridors, because whoever monitors these gateways gains significant strategic awareness. Awareness creates influence. Geography as strategy, island chains as barriers, sea lanes as power, maritime surveillance as influence. The islands themselves may appear scattered across the Pacific, but together they form one of the most important strategic lines in modern geopolitics. When naval power must pass through narrow corridors between islands, geography becomes more than landscape. It becomes leverage, because in the Pacific, the balance of naval power may depend on the islands that control the gateways to the ocean. Subscribe to World Strategy Lab for more strategic systems decoded through geography, trade, and global power. Because sometimes the most powerful defense system in the world is the shape of the map itself.